So you just go FL Studio. You open the door and everything is looking so scattered like this. And you're wondering what you are supposed to do. You just want to make bangers and shit. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is, well, you only need to know these 5 stuff over here to be able to make beats, to be able to finish beats. And the bad news is you're hooked for life now. You're an addict.
Come on! Go away!
We're gonna start with this one. You can just drag it at the top, maximize it so it fits your screen. So this is the playlist. It's called the playlist. It's where you put patterns. This pattern, because you know in songs they have different sections playing, so you create different patterns and you arrange them here. So this is where it plays. So all your patterns, they just play, you stack them. Let's go to this one next, channel rack. This channel rack is what's inside this pattern. So on this channel rack, this is where you can load up your instruments. Like let's load up FL keys, a piano. So if you click your keyboard now, you just start hearing sounds. If you don't hear sounds, don't worry, just come over here, click. It's not working now. If I activate it back, it's working. So yeah, that's that. Then we have the piano roll. Let's maximize that too. So this is where it's arranged like a piano. So this is where you can like play notes and stuff. So yeah. Then we have this mixer, right? You can feel this too. This is where you put effect on your stuff. So let's say we have this now. We route it to 4. So playing it, you know, you can add effect. Like let's add some EQ. Or some reverb. So yeah, as you can see, effect. Then this is important. You may not, even if you click it, it's possible you don't see it. And if you don't see it, it's because it's like this here. So you have to double click it to bring it out. So yeah, one of the most important stuff. You can make bangers with FL Studio, all the stock plugins, definitely. But their drums suck. There's no nice way to say it. Their drums really suck. So anytime you want to make beats, the first thing you want to do is grab a pack, grab a drum kit. Like this one, you can grab my free new drum kit. It's the second link in the description. Like all the samples you've been hearing so far in this video up until this point, they came from this pack, and it's a full drum kit on its own, all royalty free. Grab it below. It's very dope. So if you make Afrobeat, you want to grab an Afrobeat drum kit. If you make trap drum kit. If you make funk drum kit, you get the idea. So yeah, this drum kit is very versatile. It works for trap, it works for R&B, and it works for Afrobeat. Probably works for other genres I don't know about. So yeah, so this Afro design specifically, but it still works for other stuff like the perks and stuff. And I'm going to be giving away the full version to 2 new subscribers. So join my email list. It's going to be the first link in the description. Join my email list and you might be lucky to get it. But for now, you can get the demo. It's more than sufficient to make bangers. So yeah, let's start cooking up the beat. You right click FL keys, go to the piano roll. Then you start by building a chord. At least I always start by building a chord. So chord, I'm going to start with a minor. By making a minor, you skip 2 spaces and then skip 3 spaces. So here's how that sounds. Oh yeah, since it's Afrobeat, I'm going to bring it down to 102 maybe. No, too slow. Yeah. So then I want to move to a C major. You make that by skipping 3, 1, 2, 3, then skipping 2. Yeah, so then A minor, then up to a major. Here's how that sounds. Yeah, so that sounds nice. So now I want to shift that into a pad flex. So I'm just gonna head on here and look for the preset 1 pad. Yeah, I like it. So though I'll alter this time in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of Afrobeat tutorials, you say they usually stop here on the pads, but for the banger songs, the pads always sound much nicer than this. So here's how I approach mine. I voice them. Voicing is simply picking the third notes. I'm pitching them an octave up. So here's. You can already feel a difference in that. So then I select the bottom note, the bass note. I hold shift and click it. So what I did is it duplicated it. So yeah, I just duplicated it. I'll leave it like that. So there's a little bit more emphasis on the bass. Then the last thing I would like to do is add a pedal note. A pedal note is simply something that plays throughout. Yeah, a note that repeats itself. So I think I want to pick this G. Yeah, so you can feel it's much more emotion behind that. But what I'm going to do is pitch this down. Not pitch this down, reduce the volume. I did that by holding Alt X so that it's pad. You don't want to be so pronounced. So I'm going to come here, then I'm going to cut off some of the highs. Actually, I'll pitch this up, then cut off some of the highs. Yeah. So then I'm going to pick a guitar. We're coming to flex. If you're a beginner, you want to fuck with flex sounds. Like when you're just starting, fuck with flex sounds more. Okay, so essential guitar. I like this Darkstar hybrid. Then I'll play around with this stuff until I find a preset I like. Yeah, turn this off. Turn this off. Yeah, so I think I like this. So yeah, I then come down here. I use the notes from here, pitches down. So now make a Very simple melody. Afrobeat melodies are not usually that complicated. So pictures. Yeah, so this is the pattern I came up with so far. So I'm just going to duplicate that over so we can create a variation. Most producers use 5 bars and then create some variations in between. But I like to just create the 9 bars from the get-go. So what I want to do now is render this out. I mean, not that you have to do that, but just because of my RAM, so you won't get confused. That's why I'm saying it. I'll rename this guitar. So right click here, split by channel. So you can then drag this in, drag this in. So I'm just going to right click, render and replace. Enable. Yeah, so we got this. Yeah, so for this guitar, I want it to sound nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to route this to 7 and then add this thing we call fruity flanges. So I'm going to fuck around with these settings till I see the one I like. Yeah, so I like that. Then I want to add some EQ. We don't want too much low end in this and high end either. So from here, what I want to do now is I want to add a pluck or some sort. So head over to Harmless. Here, Exorbied and Marimba. Is it Marimba or Karim? No, it's not Karimba. Yeah. So I don't know if I mentioned, yeah, this swing thing, you want to turn it on and turn it up to like 12. 12 to 17. What it does, it gives swing. So when we get to the drums, I'll show you. It gives swing to it, so everything is not playing exactly on beat. So okay with this, let's go. Yeah, so I think I'm going to stick with this. I try don't like making melodies like this, to be honest. Like this part of Afrobeat, I don't like the plucky, almost percussive type of melodies. It takes me forever, but it's fine. So then I move on to the bass. So for that, I pick morphing. Then I picked this Bass B3 preset. I use it as this piano roll. So I just copied the notes of the chord progression, which goes like that, and drag them here and then here. So yeah, I'm using Control B to copy over. When you select and use Control B, it just copies over. So yeah, let me separate this still. New pattern, Control V. So you can see how it's coming together, like, you know, on this place. This is the playlist. I'm using patterns to create I'm using these patterns using the channel rack to create this stuff. Then I'm putting them on the playlist and arranging. I mean, obviously we've not started arranging, but you can see what the playlist does exactly. So what I like to add next is a sine bass. That one is like an extra bass, the one that sounds so draggy like that. We're going to use the Fruity DX10 and select sine bass. Yeah. So yeah, I skip forward with that too because this will take too much time. It's not the goal of this tutorial. So here's what we have. Yeah, so I think I want to adjust that block. I'm not really liking how it's sounding. The timing is a bit off. So Yeah, so stick with this pattern. Yeah, I'm going to take forever doing it. I'm just not that good at it. So okay, yeah, for the melodic aspect we've sort of taken care of it. So all we want to do now is come over to this place, pick a fruity soft clipper, leave it as is. That's just so that no matter how lots the stuff is playing, it's not distorting. Then we pick the Maximus and pick a mastering preset. You can change it later. So this is just to, as you can hear, everything got louder. So this is just to make it because we're going to be moving into mixing. Obviously I'm not going to do the full guide here, just so that we can sort of hear how everything is clearly properly. So now we're moving into the drums. So we head on to one shot. Again, grab my notepad. He has everything really, like no cap. So rim. Although this is a bit loud. Mm. 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 Yeah, so I'll just copy that over for the full 9 bars. So what I'm going to do now is layer this. What they call layering is simply putting two sounds, putting the same thing on two different sounds, so they complement each other. Doesn't even have to be a rim. Yeah, like this. So Control C, Control V. Yeah, when you see this red stuff, you want to ensure you turn this off. Use loop point. Yeah, this is the, I don't know if I've mentioned that, but this is the volume knob. So this is the volume knob, and this is the pan knob. It just controls if something is playing left or right. Let me use this one. Yeah. So for the main snares, you want it to remain there. For the kick, you want it to remain in the middle too. So I always like the rack kick. It works. Yeah, so this I'm going to show you now. This swing, I'm going to show you the main use. So let me turn it all the way up so you can really see it. As you can hear, the little beat. Let me play just this. As you can hear, it has shifted off a little bit, but normally. Yeah, so just do this. So it's a little bit, since it's Afro is majorly natural, like hand played. You want to give it that type of natural feel, like you're playing in a village square type thing. So that's why we set the swing up. Can set it up to, like, I usually use between 12 to 18 depending. But this, I think we'll leave it on 15. Yeah, so you can just repeat that. It doesn't really have to be complicated at all. So yeah, we have the majority of the stuff going. So what I want to do now is sidechain this sine bass to this bass. I'm going to explain that in a bit, because they are both low end. So if they are playing, it's going to be muddy. So when you want to sidechain, you can see this green thing, this green line, this arrow thing. You click here. you right click here, cycle into this track. So now we cycle into this. It's not playing into this per se, but it's attached. So okay, let me turn everything else off. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you are using like headphones or big speakers, you'll probably notice it. The bass is fighting somewhat. So what you want to do is come here, fruity limiter, compress, right click, click sine bass. So you can then turn this down. I turn the ratio to like a 2 and then turn this down. So this you can see here is the volume of the bass being brought down. So every time the sine bass plays, this is going to come down a bit. Although we want the release time to be neat. To calculate the release time, we use a very simple formula. It works for like reverb, delay, anything you'll be needing time for in making beats, because that is very important, trust me. So it's a very simple formula. Make sure to remember it, pause it, play back if you need to. It's going to be on the screen. 60,000 divided by the BPM. The BPM is the speed, this 107 we picked earlier, divided by 4. So let's do that. So we have 140. Let's do divided by 60. So that means when we're adding reverb, this is what we're going to use, 2.3. So for now, we're using 140. So we just take this over to 140. Let's take it lower still. Yeah. So where did I put the drums? So I'm still going to separate this later, but I want to put everything on one place for now. So we then want to bring in a hat of some sort. Again, when you see this red, turn this off. It's going to be really disgusting. So I'm going to do this. So we can then pick hand drums. Here we can now play around. So yeah, let's pick this. Then we can pan it. I was saying this to pan left or right. We can pan it right. Yeah, we can pan this one left. So here is where you just really get creative. There's no rules for it. Once you have the kick and the snare and they go well, the rest you can just really play around what sounds nice to you. But just make sure you pan properly so that everything sounds true. So it's not like you put the nonsense sounds and then they are playing over each other and you can't hear them. So usually I only have these three on the same spot. Yeah, hi-hat, let me pan that a bit. I only have these three, the kick and the two rims I used on the middle, but the rest I play around. So okay, we have this one. So for the last thing I like to add is a hi-hat, like an actual hi-hat. It's just to finalize the bounce. So turn this off. Yeah, so this is what I ended up going with because I take too much time on this shit, so I won't show the whole thing. So here's how everything sounds now. So what we're going to do is duplicate this over 1, 2. Then we can now start adding effects. Of course, this is not a mixing tutorial video, but I'm going to leave it at the end of the video. So if you want to know mixing in depth, you can watch that. So I'm going to be doing some mixing, some basic mixing here now. So the pad is fine. The guitar, I want to add more delay to the guitar. So I'm going to do this fruity delay 3. Turn this down a bit like this. See how it sounds. Yeah, so to get neat delays, there's different methods, but the method I find works the most for me, for Afrobeat specifically, is this fruity pick controller. So what you do is you load this before the delay. Then, okay, let me leave that on. Then you come over here, you right click, link to controller. Then you pick peak inverted. And then you then put them side by side and compare the settings. So here, this peak, this is what you're using, or this is what you're using to control this. So watch how it interacts. So this controls how much of the volume is being manipulated. Small is barely moving, much is moving a bunch. You're making noise, though. It's moving a bunch, right? So what you want to do is, you want to make the delay last a little bit so that it's not like the guitar is not clashing into each other. The delay is not clashing into the next note playing. Like you know, when the delay of this is playing, it's not going to be clashing with this 2, with this 3. That's what it's for. So here how that sounds now. to reduce this. I don't want it to delay too much. Yeah, so I like this so far. I like how everything sounds. Then if you like, you can then add vocals and finish it up. So yeah, so now we're going to get into arranging. So what I like to do is you could right click and remove stuff, but I like to use this tool, this mute too, because then I can sort of, if I don't like something, I can easily put it back. If I don't like what I removed, I can easily put it back without having to copy again. So I'll mute everything first. Ask myself the intro of a song, what's that? Pad, definitely. Guitar, okay. Bass. I don't think I want anything else, so I'm just gonna remove this. Oh yeah, I still have to arrange this, so let me quickly separate that. Yeah, so from here, what I want to introduce, I then want to introduce this block and the sign bass, but I don't want to keep playing yet. I don't want both. So then we want to go into FX. Shouldn't be too complicated, but Afro always has crashes. So we want to use crash. I want to use it here specifically. And I can have this one just at the intro. Again, all this you can get from my new Afrofusion kit. It has everything you're going to need, and it has a bunch of samples too. So if you're one that doesn't like to take your time making melodies like this, there's a bunch of melodies you can grab from, get ideas, just add your own bases or use the bases, because some of these loops come with bases too. And just go straight to drums, Cookup, and it's all royalty free. You can use it, no copyright, stuff like that. So don't forget, grab my kit. Again, I'll be giving 2 new subscribers. I'm going to be giving 2 new subscribers the kit for free. So if you want it, join my mailing list. It's going to be the first link in the description. So yeah, let's keep cooking. So that's it for this video. Anyway, this is beat making. If you watch this, hopefully you've been able to make your first beat. That's dope. So if you want to move into mixing, click this video displayed on the screen. Don't forget, grab my new Afrofusion pack, link in the description. See you in the next video. Peace.